We are Onyx Imaging. We are the highest rated and most reviewed printer service center in Oklahoma.
Hi, my name is John with Onyx Imaging. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and setup video for an HP Officejet Pro 8715. So let's go ahead and get this box open and we'll get started. Alright. So once you open up your box, you have your starter set of ink. You have a power cord, your USB printer cable. You also have a fax cable just in case you need it. And it also comes with an installation disc. Most of the time, once you plug it in, the computer takes care of it for you. But in case you need it, you do have one available for you. There's also some instructions just in case you need them. I'm going to take out the styrofoam pieces here. And the easiest way to get the printer out of the box is to actually lay the printer on its side. And you can just kind of use the bag to pull it out of the box. It's really simple. So we're going to unbag it. And sometimes there'll be some blue tape that'll be on some of the components just holding everything together. If you have any of the blue tape, you're just going to want to make sure you get all that removed before you start. And then we're also going to want to remove our little scanner liner, or protection liner. And then one of the first things I like to do is open the paper drawer, make sure that there's nothing inside the paper drawer. And then also make sure that your size adjustment tab is set on 8.5 by 11 if you're using letter, or for whatever paper size you're using. And so once I have the paper tray all set up, I'll go ahead and put my paper in. Make sure it's squared off on all four sides, and it's usually a good idea to also fan it from every direction just to make sure that none of the pages are stuck to each other. It's easy for static to build up on the pages, and that can also actually make it more difficult for your printer to pick up and cause some paper jams. So once your paper's all squared back off, I'm going to set it inside the paper tray. And then slip that back in the printer. And now we're going to go ahead and get it plugged in. And we'll start getting it all set up here.
Those people we have problems with money before, action tape.
Power plugs on the back, on the left hand side. Make sure you plug that in. Give it a second. And it should get started up for you. And now we're pretty much going to follow the setup instructions. So we'll let this boot up. And while it's booting, we can go ahead and unpack our starter cartridges. And for us, we're going to go ahead and select English. Confirm that you want English as your language. We're in the US. Confirm. Set your date and time. And then for us, we're going to be a self-managed printer. Continue. Give it just a second here. Now it's going to ask you to install your printer cartridges. So on your left hand side, there's a little finger cup. Lower the front door. And we're going to wait for the print head to stop moving, and it should stop right about here. Alright, so now that the print head's settled down where it's supposed to be, we're going to install our black cartridge first. And you're just going to press it in until you feel it kind of click. And we're going to do the same for all the preceding colors. So there's magenta, cyan, yellow, and everything's actually color coded, so it's really hard to put the wrong ink in the wrong place. And if you're not sure what's all the way in there, just give it a light tug just to make sure it's actually fully seated. Once they're all in there, go ahead and close the front door, and we're going to follow through the next instruction. So it recognizes that all 4 inks have been installed. We're going to hit OK. And then we're going to continue. It's going to initialize the printer. And we're going to go ahead and do a manual setup. So for internet, I'm going to connect later. I'm not worried about it right now. And then I'll ask you for printer update options. Generally, we recommend do not automatic update. So usually I'll turn off do not check. Reason being, unless you're having trouble with the firmware on your printer and it's causing print problems, it's easy for something to happen while updating the firmware to cause other issues. So just to avoid all the complications, unless you're having problems where you need the firmware updated, we generally advise just to leave the firmware updates turned off. And then we'll hit continue. So now we've gotten to the ready screen, and what's going to happen is it's going to finish calibrating and initializing those ink cartridges. And then once that's all set up, it's still initializing. Once it's finished, it'll actually print out a calibration page, making sure that all the inks are working and everything's set up properly. But other than that, it's a really simple process. That's pretty much it from start to finish. Hopefully you're up and printing. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching. If you're interested in how you can receive free labor on all of your service calls, as well as how to qualify for free printer upgrades, contact us today. We are here for all of your printer and office supply needs.